Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is: should an occultist join a temple or an organization? I can only go from my experience, but other occultists that are seasoned, they pretty much have the same perspective that I have, and I will say this as the Kobe Bryant of magic: you should only join if it can teach you these things. It can expound your gnosis, teach you discipline, and how to work well with different personalities, as well as give you structure and continuity. Now, you can use those. If they offer that, absolutely join. Now, here are the things that you're going to run into that I've ran into and others have. Cult of personality. And I want to show you how those cults of personalities really begin, and you can look for these red flags. The first one is that in joining, you do some investigation. One of the things that I appreciate from Ledger Archer, he always would say that he wanted to keep the order small, and I understand that, because in a book entitled Ready for the Revolution by Kwame Ture, who was then known as Stokely Carmichael, who was the prime minister of the original Black Panther Party, he said this when he talked about the party. He said one of the problems with the Black Panther Party then is that they grew too fast. They just exploded out of the imagination of Huey P. Newton. And this is true. You don't want something that takes off and just become this organizational monstrosity. Because we got to remember something. The Panthers came about in 1966 at Merritt College with Huey and Bobby. Huey gets locked up for shooting an officer, John Frey, 1967. He doesn't get released until August of 1970. He get released. There's chapters everywhere. Chicago, Philly, Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City with Pete and Charlotte O'Neill. So it expanded, and Huey was coming back, and John Stockwell gave this warning to the Panthers even then. He said to Huey P. Newton, you getting back ain't the same Huey P. Newton that went in. So an organization growing too fast. Now let's talk about doing your due diligence, because you don't have any excuses. It would be fun to be an occultist now because you have information. It's just some of it is not qualitative information. It's all over the place. So you really don't have no excuses. This is where you get you a good mentor and a teacher, because that good mentor and teacher that has character and ethics, they're going to save you a whole lot of wasting your time and wasting your money. But I've seen this in the case. There was a book, Clansville, USA, and it talked about the Klan that was in North Carolina. I'll show you something. Their Grand Dragon was Bob Jones. Bob Jones, what was his life before the Klan? He failed at everything. He got kicked out of the Navy because he wouldn't salute a black man that has superior rank. They said, all right, get up out of here, crash dummy. Get out of here. Beat it. He then was a vacuum cleaner salesman, but he gets elected as the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. And you would have thought this man was like the governor. The money came in, the Cadillacs, so he had the vestige of power. That's one aspect. Let's look at the case of Elijah Muhammad. And I know some trials are going to get sensitive. So be it. What was Elijah Muhammad, who was then Elijah Poole, prior to meeting W.D. Farrar on the east side of Detroit? What was he? What did he do? Y'all don't want to ask some questions. Oh, yes, I know he was a Garveyite. He was the UNIA, and he also was in the Moorish Science Temple. Yes, that could be proven trials. But what was he doing before the Nation of Islam? What was he doing? He wasn't doing a whole lot. And then what really helped him, because when under his stewardship, he had under 400 members. But then who came in to save the day? Come on, save the day, Trox. Malcolm X. He saved the day. That's the house that Elijah Muhammad was renting. But Malcolm came in and did renovations. Malcolm's the one that put in that furniture, laid that carpet, put that bar in the basement, built that deck, and put the basketball hoop in the backyard for the shorties. Malcolm did that, not Elijah. And what did Elijah do? He destroyed the NOI. Cult of personality. Let's look at the case of the Church of Satan. Michael Aquino, who was the second under, and he defected in 1975. And I told you a story before with these useless degrees, but like I said, what was Anton LaVey's claim to fame? And I know all the lies. Oh, he worked at the circus. There's no record of that, so that's a lie. Oh, he worked as a police photographer. No, he didn't. That's another lie. That's already been debunked. So what did Anton LaVey do? Now let's look at Michael Aquino. He was an officer. He was also an author. He was a decorated officer, lieutenant colonel, if I do believe. And also this, he went on to get his PhD. So what you have to do, this is the red flag. Listen up, and I want to give those examples. What you do is, besides that organization, temple, mosque, church, whatever, what else? What are the hobbies of that individual? Are they married? Do they have any children? Are they a devoted husband and father or mother? Do they have other interests like learning languages or traveling? Or what are their hobbies? Like if all they got is that, hear me now and believe me later, they are going to run amok. They are. They're going to run amok. And they're going to be this dictator. You can look at it from the political aspect. And this is why I say, do your due diligence before you join. Look at that Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, Illinois, the so-called people's mayor, the super mayor. What was she before this? She says she has a degree in what? That woman can barely form a sentence correctly. And what was she before? You could get a mugshot. She was a wannabe car thief. That's what Tiffany Henyard was. She spent almost $8,000 on weave and makeup alone. And people say, well, why the FBI taking their time? No, they're not taking their time. This is how the feds work, fam. When they put that case on you, oh, you ain't getting up out of it. You ain't getting up out of it. That's why she's stealing all that money like she's doing. Because they know, even if she does dodge this bullet, which I highly doubt it, she won't even be able to get a job at the local liquor store as a lottery girl. So I'm not saying don't join, but be very, very careful. Just choose you a mentor or a great teacher, and trust me, you'll be in good hands. You heard it here first. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.